Hello and welcome back, everyone. I my camera's kind of funny because I'm not sure where I'm going to need it. Every time I think it's in the right place, it's not. Um, we ended with you know, I'm not set up like normal. Welcome in, Alex, and congrats on first. So we ended with attaching this, and then I just went ahead and jammed those two little ones in instead of fighting for the first 15 minutes of stream to do it. Um, and I guess once I looked at the booklet, we really didn't have a ton left. Like, I guess that was technically step 86, and there's only like 115 steps or something like that. So, in theory, we should, get it done relatively quickly. I put all the ones that we finished back in the box. That way, um, I wouldn't get confused. Not that I still probably won't get confused, but Bunny of Death, welcome in. You're tired? I have Le Watermelon Red Bull today. The big can, because sleep is apparently not something my body likes. Okay. So I think we just have this. Like, there should be like one in there. Why does this one feel empty too? Oh, no, it's one of those really thin ones. One of those. And I think these are just squares, like the foamy squares. Welcome in, Bunny. Um, I try to give fellow streamers a shout out. So if you are a streamer as well, let me know. There are so many streamers I can't keep up. But welcome in. Hopefully you like the chaos that is about to happen. We started this on Tuesday. I got this for Christmas. I found it just on Amazon and I put it on my wish list, and then the hubby got it for me for Christmas. And I kept forgetting about it, honestly. Um I kept, because it's such a tiny little box, like two hands, I kept putting it places and then forgetting I had it. So, um yeah. So finally I was like, I do have that over there. I should do something with it. So that is what we're attempting to do. Okay, I'm confused. I could have swore they had this stuff go underneath. Oh, they did. That's not actually like these going over. It's like these twisted so much that they kind of go in that direction. Yeah, I we've been so on the 7th, no, the 8th of next month, it will be 17 years. He's pretty well trained at this point. So I just put things on Amazon wish lists, or I literally send him links and I go, this is what I want. This is what I want. If it is something similar enough, feel free to take the liberty, but don't go too crazy out there on your own, because I will return things. and he knows which authors I like. So he has been known to get the books too. Um, and I do my bookshelves by grouping them by author instead of like type or color or whatever. So pretty much all the books I have from that one author are like in the same place next to each other on the bookshelf. There's only a couple exceptions to that. There are like two or three different ones where I call them collections versus a series because it's the same series title, but they're MC. So like each author writes, like one author will write the Jacksonville, Florida chapter, but another author will write the Las Vegas chapter. So all those books are together, but still like I try to group them like within that collection, like all the authors are next to each other, like all the books by one author are next to each other. So I still kind of try to keep, yeah, I can't do that. People are like, let's do it by size. Well, okay, but I'm still going to put all the authors, the same books by the same author next to each other, and then we can do it by size as long as it doesn't pull the series apart, you know? I was up most of the night waiting to hear from my sister because she was in A&E. They eventually just sent her home because they didn't have a bed for her. She's gone back today for a scan, and then they have a bed for her, so she's in a ward now. Well, at least, you know, she has a bed now. Hopefully they get some answers and it's not too crazy. You know, whatever is going on with her. Hopefully it isn't, horrible on the scale of what is wrong with you. Welcome in, Devin. Yeah. Tell her there's a whole website that just sells bookshelves. And I literally mean it's a shell. Like you can go onto the website and tell them what book titles you want, and then they send you this like plasticky shell thing that you can stick on your shelf. They're not real books. Homemade 5 cheese bacon macaroni. Last night, okay, so I'm from Pennsylvania near the Amish, and my grandmother was Pennsylvania Dutch. Um, like from Germany, Pennsylvania Dutch type deal. And I didn't know until much later in life that what I considered chicken and waffles was not what everybody else considered chicken and waffles. So like everybody else, pretty much everywhere else in the United States, chicken and waffles is like chicken tenders or actual pieces of chicken on a waffle with like syrup for gravy. But the Pennsylvania Dutch don't do it that way. My grandmother would put chicken gravy and chicken breasts in a pot and like slow roast it all day and then shred the chicken and you put that over waffles. That's what I made for dinner last night. Chicken and waffles, just not what everybody else could. PA, Pennsylvania Dutch chicken and waffles, Amish chicken and waffles, whatever. Yeah, I did not know that that was not what everybody else considered chicken and waffles. And the first time I made it for my husband, he's like, "This is not chicken and waffles." And I was like, "That is chicken. That is a waffle. It is chicken and waffles." And he was like, "Yeah, but that's not like what I consider chicken and waffles." And I was like, "Well, what do you consider chicken and waffles?" And he told me, and I was like, oh, "No." Yeah, it's not a crunchy thing. It's like a savory thing. You have a little sweetness because of the waffles, but it's mostly a savory thing. Yeah, no crunch. No crunch. I don't I don't know. It's probably just because I grew up with that being chicken and waffles that I'm like, no, I can't eat it the other way. Really? Really, you silly sticky. You came off and got stuck to my nail instead. I'm going to use the tweezers. So I did my nails yesterday again, and I picked the pack up and I thought the pack was black because of how dark they looked on the package. But it turned out they were dark blue. I'm not opposed to it. I just didn't realize what was in the package. Where did you just go? Oh, right there. Um anyway, and my one nail is breaking, so I had put like stuff on it to help like stop it from breaking all the way while I was doing them. And turns out the stuff that's on the back of these nails that helps them cure and stick doesn't like the nail polish. So it already started to come off, so I had to glue it. You know, with the basically super glue, the nail glue, it might as well just be super glue. So we'll see how long that lasts. The fair has a chicken and waffle stand that does it more like a corn dog. Oh, that's interesting. I don't eat corn dogs, but I also don't like cornbread or hot dogs. So it makes sense that I don't eat corn dogs. Uh, it is going. Um, I would tell you if things are lighting up, except I don't know because I don't know. Um, at no point was it like, hey, plug this in here to test it. So we're just gonna hope for the best. Like I said, this is a kit off Amazon, so you know you gotta take it as it comes. Okay, it looks like they want them all in the front. Well, I have done Fun Hole, or as it's now called, Loomy Bricks in the past, and those you light as you go because the light kit comes with the set. Yep, I should have taken that off first. Um, so they do tell you kind of like along the way, hey, you can test it. But I'm gonna be honest, they're pretty much too advanced for me too. It's just me doing this, going, am I in frame? Did I do this right? And I feel like sometimes you need 17 hands, and I don't have that many hands. They tell you to do this before you click the thing on, but I'm not sure which way's easier, so. Mainly, the hardest part is figuring out which way you put the clip in, and then you can kind of, it's slightly easier from there. Because there is like an up and a down, front, back, wherever you want to put that. And so you got to figure out which way that they need to go in the thing. Aha. Okay. So we want it like this. Dang it. Mostly I just do them and hope for the best. I've only done, I don't know, 3 or 4 of the Loomy Fun Hole, as it's now called, Loomy, because apparently nobody ran Fun Hole through the Fun Person thing before they decided to name a whole company it. Nobody asked a 12-year-old boy what he thought, and he went, "Oh, that's horrible. Don't do that." Come on, line up. There we go. You're pushed in. Um, as far as quality of bricks goes, they are very good. The Lumi bricks. Um, they snap together very nicely. Um, the sets are really nice. They are far cheaper than Lego. So if price is something, like, pretty much most of the population has to worry about how much things cost, um, and you still want to brick build, they are a good company to go with. I've gotten pretty lucky with like the random stuff I bought off Amazon. I know that is not always the case, but oh, come on. But I do think or feel like you need multiple sets of hands to do the lighting. Sometimes you're like, my wrist is not meant to turn this way or hold for this long. There we go. My elbow was starting to slide on that piece, so we're just gonna move it. Oh, dang it. I thought I had it. Okay. Oh, come on. And you plug. Is that the end you plug in it, or is that the light? So this is the end you plug in. The light bulb ends are already in in places. Like there's one in here and there's one in there. Um, and then these are like the ends of the wire that you plug into like the main circuit board. Okay. Okay, you get back in there. No, nobody told you to slide out of place. I know. Yeah, they're already they're like I said, there's one in there, there's one in there, one in there. There's one on the bottom here. Um one in this lantern here on the thing. There's one in the little pot or like in the flame part of where it would look like you're cooking. Um sorry, I'm trying to pick up all these little pieces of sticky paper. Um but yeah, there's a bit of lights everywhere, and then that's what. Oh, I display all my sets permanently. I never take them apart. Um, so I'm short, but this is the top shelf, and from here all the way down, and then all the way up that wall, I have shelves that are about 5 feet a little more than 5 feet tall. Um, and I display all along them. And then I have four of the painting type ones over there that I need to hang up. And I have one hanging on the wall in the kitchen. And then I have ones all over the bookcases, like the small little like brick heads or things like that. But yeah, they go all the way across. I'm about to have to start stealing my husband's shelf space. That's what he gets for taking too long to build his stuff. Okay. So that's what they wanted for that step. And we can put this back on. There we go. Catch the lip. Okay. Now we're going to light up. Whoop, sorry. We play with the. We're going to light up this. So they say turn it, turn it, turn it till it's like this. Oh, yay. Then we want to take this off. Where did there's one. This set has really had me like taking the camera and going all over town with it because I'm trying to make it so you guys can see what I'm doing. It doesn't always work, but the attempt has been made and I feel like that means something. Sorry, I gotta turn it a little bit to get that piece off. And then it wants this. Okay. So then it should look like this. Yeah, that's what I say. What's mine is mine, and what's his is mine. Okay, turn it over this way. And then the last A12. And I'll show you what the light looks like on this. So this is okay, so this is the back. I don't know if you can really see it on this camera. That's the back, like where they solder the wires on. And then this is the actual, like, light part. Okay, so they say put this in the middle. And then, sorry, I had to move my hand so I could find. Let me hold this like that. I don't know if I did that right. No, I think I did that backwards. Sorry, I was like, which way is it? Okay. I couldn't remember which way this part was. But yeah, that seems right. So we put the light in the middle there, and then that piece there. And then it says put it back. Okay. There we go. Yeah, they are super tiny. And like I said, I haven't really seen how they light up yet. On the thing, it does say like it comes with a battery pack. So like a little thing you put like 3 AA's in. It does say if you choose to use a charger brick, they do light up brighter. And who I'm not wasting batteries in all those little packs. So I plan on using this because it's not going to stay lit up like all the time. Currently I'm reading 2 different books. Oh, I'm reading Lights Out, the paperback copy, in the car in the school pickup lane because I'm cool like that. And then I'm reading another book. It was an ARC. I got like an advanced reader copy. Um, and I have to remember what the title is. I know what series it's part of, the Harper Security Ops, but I don't remember which book it actually is. Um, the Harper Security one, and if you give me a second, let me put that back. I can easily look it up. I just can't remember the title. I think it's Revenge, but I could be wrong. But Lights Out is a dark, kind of twisted book, so I don't know. I'm not sure what your tolerance level. So, there's a little like mom and pop um bookstore relatively near to me, depending on what you consider near. Um, and she does those blind date with the books. So she'll like gift wrap them and puts like a tiny blurb on the back, different than that's the blurb that's on the actual book. It is Revenge. Okay, Revenge is the one I'm reading on my Kindle. That's an ARC. But when I opened it up, that's what I got. And so I got that like a while ago, but I hadn't started to read it because I was reading other things. And I recently started to read it in the school pickup lane because I'm cool like that. And like I said, that really depends on your version of cool. Okay, so it has it coming, sorry, has it coming out the back like this, but then they want me to attach it. Oh, it does go in front. Okay, I see. Yeah, it goes like this. So that does good work. Um, so I have started reading that one. I'm only at almost the sixth chapter, so not like a huge amount of the way in. Um, but I'm really liking it, and like I said, it's a darkie, and that really is going to matter how much. I have read some really weird shit. Okay, so I will tell you the little bit in the beginning that I've read, and it won't really give anything away. I feel like because the blurb talks about how she's a nurse and and she likes, she's into like the whole wave of like dark kind of masked guys that are doing thirst traps on social media. And he is the dark guy in the thirst traps. And he starts stalking her, or he has been stalking her, but she also attracts another type of stalker who does not mean to be nice to her in any way. Like he's stalking her because he likes her and like is trying to gauge whether she would like him back to possibly date her, and somebody else is stalking her for nefarious reasons, which I know does not make it sound like anybody is the good stalker in this situation, but in dark books he is the good stalker. um I read just about everything. Usually mafia books are lean towards the dark side, because somebody's being sold to pay their father's debt, and people are being murdered left and right because it's the mafia. I love MCs too. My husband rides a motorcycle. It's a little sport bike. He is definitely not like a guy in a motorcycle club, though. Okay, this way. Okay, I would show you guys this, but you're not really going to see much. Yeah, why are they so hot? Because they drive a motorcycle. And inherently, there's something uh, within the society that says they're bad boys. But my husband is so far from a bad boy, it's ridiculous. And in fact, he didn't start to drive a motorcycle till much later in our marriage. Okay, let's see if I can get this bent the right way to help me put it in the hole. These trees are totally in the way of me. Stop falling off. Also, some BDSM books tend to lean towards the darker side, not because of like what they're consensually doing, but usually there's some kind of like person involved that is does not have good intentions, that they've got to weed out, or again, she winds up being stalked by somebody or that kind of a deal. I read a lot of things. Okay, sorry guys. I'm trying to find a way that you guys can still see what I'm doing, but at the same time I can see what I'm doing. It's not working. Okay, let me try to take this tree off. There we go. We'll take that tree off for a second. Um but the arc I'm reading, Revenge, is about a girl. She's a librarian at an elementary school, and one day a couple years ago, she was just out and about minding her business, and there was a guy stabbing this girl in broad daylight, and she helped the girl and got her medical attention, testified in court against the guy, and the guy wound up going to jail. He was supposed to be in jail for something like 20 years or something, but he's getting out early because, he was a good boy in overcrowding. Okay, let's try this. This is what I wound up having to do the other day. Give it just a little bit of oomph so I'm not, you know, trying to put my hand out flat on the desk. Um, and so the girl comes and tells her, hey, he's getting out. I know he shouldn't be, but he is. Um, so she goes to this company called Harper Security Ops. They do all kinds of things. They um they offer bodyguard services, they offer training like um self-defense, situational awareness, all kinds of stuff. And she goes there to get some lessons, like self-defense lessons. See how much that easier it was when I wasn't trying to put my hand on the ground. Okay, so we are near the end. We're just putting this last chord in. Oh, all the good vibes, guys. All the vibes. I don't know why I took that out because now I just need to lift it up again. But so all the guys in this series have a habit of falling for the person they're supposed to be protecting slash helping slash whatever, and so it happens in this book too. And so, ooh, you see that? Ooh, everything's getting lighty. If I can just make sure that's actually in. There we go. Ooh, boys and girls, I'm excited. It actually worked. Right? So now, okay, we're going to go on a tour. So if you get motion sick easy, I'm sorry in advance. So you can now see inside our little wood pile. You have our little lamp and our little cooktop. And then even over here, like the water is lit up back there. Let's see if I can turn it a little bit more. Like back there, you can kind of see it's lit up where there's water. This little lamp here is lit up. And now the fun part. Let's take off our sides. Oh, look how bright that is. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to carefully turn. Our little, this is a little crystal. It's not nearly as bright as it's looking in the camera for some reason. Um, but like the candles lit up, the little lights are lit up. I did knock this like magnifying glass off somewhere, and now I can't remember where it went. So I'm gonna have to figure that out so I can put it back. For now, we'll just set it in the cup there. No, they actually flicker. Yeah, like the candle ones and the ones that are in like the the lamps and like the one that's on the pot, they like dim flicker because the ones within the like bedside lamps don't flicker, but the ones in the candle and like this one they do flicker, so that's pretty cool. Let me put this side back on and then we'll turn it to the other side. And maybe you can see the where it's lit in the water a little better this way too, because it's kind of on the back side. If you can see it back there, and like I said, it's not nearly as bright as it's looking in the camera. Like I shouldn't say it's not bright, but it's not that like wow, it actually has like more definition to the. But then yeah, this is lit and this is lit, and here's the little typewriter is lit. And actually, there's a flicky one on the inside. There's like there's like a wood burning fireplace type thing, and it's got a little flicky bulb in it too. It's hard to see like from the outside, just trying to shove the camera in there. This one doesn't appear to be lit though. Is something not in right, maybe? Hmm. Maybe I didn't hook something up right. Let's go look back at that. Maybe like I was supposed to click something in each end and didn't? That's quite possible. Good morning, Rosie. Nope, it doesn't show like hook something into the other end, so does it show a picture without the sides on when it's lit up? It does not, so that was no help. But yeah, I'm excited. It worked. And there's a little on off switch. Oh, there we go. Ha ha! Look at it now. Oh, sorry, guys. Now, that's what the on off switch is for. I thought it was everything and that it was on, and then I need to turn it off. But no, it was not on. So then that's off. That's very cool. Yeah, apparently we don't, though. I just right, it does look crazy bright on camera. I promise it's more a controlled normal brightness on in real life. I don't know why my camera wants to make it like so insanely bright. And then all I do, yeah, cabin on fire, cabin on fire. I honestly thought that was going to take us so much longer. And then I can just unplug it from my power brick and stick that, hide it in there. And then bam. Nope, upside down. And we can put this tree back on now. But yes, that turned out very nice. Let me look up that one and I can tell you guys how much we can see what other ones they possibly have. Let's see. Amazon orders and returns. Oh, let's just do Bricks Max. Bricks Max. Okay. So this lighting kit was only like 29 bucks. Um they have an advanced lighting kit. I don't know what that means though. I don't know what they can consider advanced lighting kit. So, you know, as far as like what difference in light kit it makes. Oh, it's 2.0 components. So like the bricks already have like how do I want to put it? Um like there's an indent in the brick to account for the wire instead of you having to worry about pressing it between the bricks and pinching it. That's the difference between the advanced and the standard. And that's my guess is that they already had this standard one out and then they came out with like an upgraded version so they allow you to do um have your choice. But even the advanced one is only 46 bucks, which isn't terrible. But let's see which other ones they have cuz now we need them all, right? Ooh, they have one for the Pixar lamp, which I have. They have one that lights up the bubblegum machine thing they just released, which I don't have, but I'm going to get it. Oh, they have like all kinds. Okay, let's do by theme. Oh, they have ones for Harry Potter sets, which I have like all of them. Not all of them literally, but quite a few. They have ones for like the botanical sets. And they don't look horribly priced. Like sorry, I'm trying to find like a good representation that isn't like crazy to one end or the other. Um 30 bucks to light um the second Shaggin' Wagon they came out with, 23 bucks to light the first. It's 50 bucks to light the Porsche 911, but it comes with a remote that you can like change the colors. It's 30 bucks to light the Vespa, 53 bucks to light the hotel. That's not bad at all. 48 bucks to light the town square, which is a pretty big set. 28 bucks to light the bookstore. 31 bucks to light the double decker bus. I may have to put a bunch of these. 44 bucks to light the police station. I'm not sure I actually want to light everything, but these prices aren't bad. $24 to light the Pixar lamp. Ooh, $60 to light the Milky Way set. Now that one would be worth it. I have the Milky Way. It's built over there. Could you imagine it lit up though? Ooh, that'd be nice. $30 to light the red phone box set. They have two different ones for the Orient Express, but my guess is one is like the original kind and the other one's like 2.0. $40 to light. Oh, I'll show you here. Give me a second. Web browsing. Hold, let me mute it. Nobody wants to hear them. That's pretty cool. Right, we're gonna have to put that on a wish list. Like, I know the idea is to like hide the lighting, but in a set like this, it's almost hard. It would be hard to hide like the cables, you know? That's pretty cool. And then, of course, all the Harry Potter sets. Yeah, I got it for Mother's Day the year it came out. So last year, I think. Was it this year? Last year? No, last year. I got it for Mother's Day. They have like all the Harry Potter light up sets. This could become bad. Honestly, though, I don't think I'd want to go back and like take a lot of stuff apart to light it. I think I put this one on because I thought it would be fairly easy because there's not really like a ton. You know what I mean? That you would have to like take apart to rebuild. But yes, it turned out very nice. I'm going to go stick it back on the shelf so I can do, other things today. Now, the key is not to drop it, right? Right? Don't drop it. Slide back on the shelf. So it's a I don't have a ton of backstock right now. I have a couple small Harry Potter sets and two little like botanical sets, and then next week we're gonna do the Harry Potter bookends, the shelf ends, which you can do two ways. You can do them as the shelf ends, or you can put them facing each other, and then it's like a book nook scene, which is how I'm probably going to do it because none of my books need bookends. They're all in a shelf that has ends, like the edge of the bookcase. I don't have any like just shelf, where it doesn't have an end. So I'll probably do them like a book nook instead. And then the other sets I have have to wait until the current um poll I have in Discord finishes out, which it has 6 days left on it. So like next Wednesday. Because I have them going for which set I will work on during my 2 year stream anniversary. So I can't start any of them in case they get picked for that. So if you haven't, feel free to check my Discord out in the announcements and vote on which set I will work on during my 2 year stream anniversary. Let's put the rest of this stuff back in here. And then I can decide what to do with it. Oh, I forgot to put my 2 little minifigures back on that. But yeah, it was just this little box. And so it kept getting like moved from place to place to place. And then I kept forgetting about it. So let me put these little minifigures back with my set. I had fun building the Milky Way. I will say, like, it is like there's pieces that like you put on the back to like keep all the pieces together, you know. Um, but it's still kind of flexible, so I'm always very nervous when I move it. So I said we would work on this. So I need to do the things. I need to turn the pick on. So this is the cross stitch, what it's supposed to look like when we're done. Then I need to switch this to makers and crafters. And why did it revert back to these tags? I don't understand you sometimes. Slabs. Considering. Sorry. It decided that it was gonna like change all my tags. There we go. I don't know why it did that. But that gives you a little bit better view. And there's my scissors. Okay. Let me put these back on the hubby's desk because they're his, because mine ran away on my desk somewhere. I think we move it this way. Yes. So we are almost done with the outline. Well, yes. Please stitch along, Bunny. Are you doing the stitch along in Carrot's Discord? Or are you stitching something else? We're gonna have ads. Oh, I undid it. We'll be having ads in about a minute, and then they will last 3 minutes, and then we will be back. If you sub or have the turbo, you get no ads. That is not a ploy to get you to sub. It's just, hey, letting you know, as a perk of subbing, no ads. But I do them for 3 minutes because then that gets rid of the pre-rolls, and nobody likes pre-rolls, right? Nothing worse than coming into a stream and then getting pre-rolls after you Okay, in I can get the link for you and put it in chat because I have Discord still open. Let's see. Stolen carrot. Uh, Sorry, it always takes me a second to find it because it's always like I don't know, different than I think. The word there we go. The wording is gonna be. Mm, what do I want to do? It is in. There we go. I'll wait till you come back because I'm not sure if they have ads or not. Oh, that's what I was doing. Getting my but yeah, I'll wait till ads are over because I'm not sure all who has, Oh, that's what it is. Brushes. I always mess this one up. No, it's not that. I've really got to be better at remembering which. Here we go. How are you doing, Rosie? Are you having still playing the Shire game? How's that going? Sorry, I'm horrible at holding and cross stitching in frame. Yes, that's right. Rosie! What does it say? Off and on, yes. I'm going okay. I'm waiting for caffeine to kick in so I can get some stuff done. Been reading a lot at night. I read a lot at night and in the morning and in the afternoon, just all the time. Okay, yes, that is correct. Ooh, I caught the whismer. Okay, welcome back, all. Um, the stitch along is in Carrot and Steele's Discord. This is a free pattern we found. Um, a couple people put them different ones in the channel, and then it was voted on. Um, but there's only like 10 colors, and it's like 65 by 65 um stitches. Is the design size or however you want to say it. It's the first one, so the consensus was to pick something kind of small and free. That way, people who had never cross stitched before could jump in and it not be an issue. Plus, to kind of get an idea about like how many people would want to do a stitch along and things like that. Um, so there's no like this week we're stitching just this part and next week we're just stitching this part because it's so small and it just take as long as you want to stitch it. And then people are posting pictures in Discord. I've been trying to only, well, not trying. I have only been doing it during stream. So, did you pick a Pokemon? I think in the welcome channel you have to pick one of two Pokemon and then it opens up the rest of the channels for you. But it would be under there's like an information that's got like welcome announcements, stream schedules, things like that, and then there's a sharing is caring, and then chats and hangs. It's like the second one in chats and hangs. Let's see. Yeah, it's like the second one in that's in chats and hangs, which is like the third grouping. And there's a link to the pattern and also like the 10 colors you need, which when you click the link it kind of sends you to that anyway. So let me scroll up and sorry, you get so far back and it's like, hold on, please, let me load that for you. Copy. Nope, that's not what I wanted. This is. This is the link to like the pattern that was picked. And then it'll give you like the size and like what colors. And it is downloadable in either black and white or color. But this is the one we're doing. And of course, you're welcome to change colors if you want the dragon to look more purplish and pink or. I just went with it as it is. No, you're welcome. And so I've been if I did it off stream, I'd probably finish it like super quick because that's what I would be like. I'd be like, oh, this is all I'm going to do for the next however long it takes to finish it. So, in order to like kind of support however long you want, because this is the first one. So, we didn't set like a time limit or like only stitch this part this week and this next part the next week. We're really like letting people take as long as they need to because it's the first one. Um, and some of the people who said they wanted to do it have never cross stitched before. So we really left it kind of open ended. I say we like I was involved in any of the planning. I was not. But, you know, it was left kind of open ended. Take as long as you need. I believe some of the people have finished already. But like I said, I've been doing I've been trying to just do it on stream so people could ask questions about cross stitching in general, about the stitch along, about whatever. I used to cross stitch, or like I started a long time ago. And then, like any other crafter, it fell off for a new craft and, realized you hadn't done it in like 10 years. And then Carrot started doing it again. And I was like, I did love to cross stitch. Let's start that up again. I had given all my stuff to my mother in law, figuring she would use it because I wasn't at the time. And when I asked her if she still had it, she's like, yeah, I just put the tote up in the attic. You can just go get it. So I made my husband go up in the attic and get it. And then I got to cross stitch again. I just I downloaded the thing and it the pattern and it opened it up like in a like a browser tab. So I then did the print screen and put it into paint and like cropped it, excess away. So that way I can use the like paintbrushes and stuff in paint to kind of like mark off the ones I've done just cuz I didn't want to print it out. But you can totally print it out if that's easier for you. Yeah, the amount of involvement I had in planning was very little. He said, "Let's do a stitch along," and I went, "Yes, I love craft. I love crafting. That's all craft." And then I went, "You want a small free pattern? I'll throw one in the ring. I can do that. I'm sure there's probably 500 saved on my Pinterest somewhere." And you know what? That's fine. Whatever works for you. There isn't really a right or wrong way to do it. There's only 10 colors in this one. So not having to run out and buy like a ton of colors if you don't have like a built up stash of colors. And I think it's like less. What did I do? I think I did 8 by 8 for my piece of fabric, and this is a 6-inch frame, and it you can see it fits completely in the 6-inch frame. Um, so yeah, I have a pretty big built up stash too. Um, but yeah, if you don't have fabric, it would only be like you wouldn't need to buy a huge pack of fabric. It's like I said, I think I did 8 by 8, and this is a 6-inch hoop, and it fit inside it. I like I found the center and like kind of centered the hoop, but then I realized based on like the way it is, I had to move it a little bit to this side. I could probably move it a little bit back and be fine now, but the less times I have to unhoop and rehoop, the better for me anyway. So I'll probably just leave it this way, but yeah. I will say this pattern does not have center marked like most cross stitch patterns do. They normally have like 0 in the middle and then they go 10, 20, 30, and then opposite way 10, 20, 30. This one just goes over to like 64 and then from the top down to like 66 maybe. And they don't mark center, so you may have to take like a ruler and a highlighter and because there's like a little arrow that points like, hey, this is center and this is center, but they don't have that as 0. Um, so you may have to take like a highlighter and like mark that. So if you start from like the center, because that's how I start. But like I said, there's no right or wrong. Some people go, okay, well, I know the pattern is this by this. This would be the corner from like, okay, so that works for you. Okay. So everybody kind of does it their own way. I marked that off. And then there's 1, 2, and I really want that one, right? Yes. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, I'm at the right spot. But yeah, I thought this little dragon was very cute. So when they asked for free patterns, I threw it in there, and then there were like I don't know, I think a total of like 4 or 5, and then everybody just voted. And so this one is the one people were like, yes, the tiny dragon. 2, 3, 4. 4 makes it 2 past. Okay. Just making sure I'm in the right spot. 3 more. And, you know, I know this is not everybody's cup of tea to watch. So if some people drop out, because, I did the Lego part, I'm never upset. And then sometimes other people come in because they're like, oh, makers and crafters. Okay, that should put us, yep, just 1 past. When I lived in England, they had magazines that came out every month that were cross stitching magazines. You'd get like a free little gift. Sometimes it was a tiny pattern, sometimes it was a cross stitching gadget. Um, and then it came with like, I don't know, like 10 or 15 patterns inside of it. So I have a bunch of them from when I lived there, and now I have a subscription to it, like through Barnes and Nobles. So when I get those patterns, on my tablet, I just, you know, zoom in and I just do it off the pattern that way. But the ones I have from magazines, sometimes I just use them like in a magazine, and sometimes when they're bigger, and then so the squares get real tiny, tiny to make it all fit on the pages without it being like 5 pages long. I scan those into my uh, with my printer scanner combo thing into the computer, and then I blow them up in paint and stuff to make them readable. 2, 3, 3. And it should be, yep. Now what we've done, I'm thinking better than I did. Mm-hmm. 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 Maybe like a dog. My minions started school this week. Only one of them leaves the house, though. The other one just goes to his computer in the den. Um, but I always find it hilariously frustrating that people cannot figure out how to use the pick up drop off lanes. I'm waiting. I'm hoping after the first couple weeks of school that it calms down and goes back to normal, because we do, but they don't go to school in June at all. We do start early. We're in Arkansas, and they started on the 12th, but then they don't go to school in June at all. Yeah, The one that actually leaves and goes to school ends like a couple days after Memorial Day, and the boy ends before Memorial Day, like the Friday before. Yeah, well, I remember I went to school in Pennsylvania, and we did not start till like a day or so, like the week of Labor Day or like the week after. So almost September or beginning of September. So to me, they start early too. But everywhere we've lived with them, they've started in August. So like mid August, roughly. King someday. They're both in high school now, so he's a freshman and she's a junior. At the beginning, at the same time my stream started, he had a club rush on the computer where I guess they were telling them about all the different clubs they could join, and now to make him join one or more than one. And tomorrow he has a back to school picnic. He doesn't really go to school on Fridays. Not like I don't make him go. Like his school literally doesn't do classes on Fridays. Um so they do activities on Fridays. So tomorrow is the back to school picnics. So they break the state up into like five or six different areas depending, and then they schedule an event in each of the areas. And so you just pick whichever one you want. You don't have to go to the one technically in your area. You can go to whichever one you want. And we picked based on what they were doing because a couple of them were relatively close to us. And so the one we picked is having a nacho party. They do all different kinds of stuff. Okay. We are almost to the tippy toppest portion of the design, and then I will for sure know if my hooping is or my hoop is in like a good position or not, you know, based on being able to reach all the places. I'm at like kind of a weird place. So I started the channel like only doing Lego. And then I added in like just Tuesday and Thursday or whatever. 2 days a week doing Lego. And then I added a third day and I made that day like the 2 days during the week Lego and the Sunday video games. And I've slowly been trickling adding in different crafts that I like to do. cross stitch. I did some diamond art, crocheting, doing the things. But I don't know, like, I don't want to like go away from the Lego, but I do want to, I guess, do the crafts more as well. But part of me is like, I have an audience and they expect certain things. Okay, Rosie, I wish you success in the doing of things. Okay, let's mark some off before I wind up losing my spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. And then 2, 1, 1. Okay. Um, for a long time, I sewed um kids' clothes, made tutus, a lot of that type of stuff. So, but I don't know if I'd want to sew on stream because find like the sewing machine is super loud. At least to me, like I would worry about how loud it would be on stream. But like I should say sewing because I mean technically this is sewing too. Um but yeah. And I would hope that the kind of like fan base, I guess, just because I don't know what else to call it. Um, because you're not just there. At least for me, I don't watch somebody just based on what they do. I tune into them because I like them as a person as well. So hopefully, uh, the people who have come to enjoy my stream for my Lego building would also like other things because they liked me, but I don't know. The crafting is definitely easier on the wallet than the Lego. I've watched a sewing machine stream before and it was pretty loud, but maybe if you just did a no talking, just music at work. Yeah, I worried about how like loud a sewing machine would be on stream. So I mean, this is sewing. Plus most of the things I make are for kids and my kids have kind of grown out of like me making them clothes, you know. On the rare occasion I still make stuff for my daughter, but I do need to get back really to selling the stuff I made because, extra income is nice. And in fact, I have a bunch up there that was like from the last craft show I did before we moved this last time, like 2 years ago now. Um, and I thought about I had mentioned it before, putting some of this stuff like on my fourth wall, and then people can just buy it and do whatever. Because I know you can sell like stuff you make on your fourth wall. I just have to remember to actually go read about how it works. Listen, computers are a pain in the butt. They, as much as they are helpful, they also like to be the same amount a pain in the butt. The poor lady at the commissary this morning, she went to check a guy out and her machine just started like this really loud beeping at her. And she's like, I'm so sorry, I can't get it to stop. I'm like, don't worry about it. Yeah, I think she finally just had to like restart her register because it just kept this sound like beep, beep. Like it was really loud. And she was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Listen, as much as computers are there to help, I feel like sometimes, they're just a big pain in the butt and slow down the process just as much as they help sometimes. Two more. Oh, yeah, updates always make me nervous. Like, please don't destroy everything on my computer as you update. So, tomorrow we're having my husband's coworker and friend, or slash friend, I should say. He is both. Um, come over for a game night, so this should be fun. He's a single guy. And we're like, gee, he's dating is tough. Like, no matter your age, dating is horrible. And you could not pay me to go back into dating. I would just find a friends with benefits and leave it at that. Yeah, single and artist. Yeah, no, it's not good. I think he said the last girl he met through like a dating app, they went on a date, and he told her, or she told him that like her church believes Elvis never died, he's still alive, and he's like, okay. I was like, dude. He was dating a girl for a while and it seemed like they were going pretty well, and then she just kind of ghosted him, and like a couple days later somebody that he knows saw her out with another guy, and he's like, well, she could have just told me. She didn't have to like. He's like, she could have just told me she wanted to, see other people. It would have been fine. Yeah, but so I have the Harry Potter cooperative board game because I love Harry Potter all the way around. And I know Harry Potter is a touchy subject because of her, but I can separate the author from the fandom. I love everything Harry Potter. I don't equate her to Harry Potter. Like, yes, she wrote the book, but I don't equate her into the whole thing. So I know that's a problem for some people, but and I'm not telling anybody it shouldn't be a problem for them because you got to draw your own personal line in the sand somewhere. I don't shop at Hobby Lobby. That's my line in the sand. Um, but I still eat Chick-fil-A and I buy Harry Potter stuff. Yeah, like you weren't dating. It was one date. Dates are to get to know somebody, but I guess they had been going out for several months and then she just kind of nope. And I was like, okay, let's all be adults and just say we're not interested. And I do understand like a single date can get iffy, especially for women out there. We had met her. We went over there, not 4th of July. I don't know. We went over there for something and had like a cookout with them and everything. And she seemed really nice. And then not long after that, she was just kind of like, nope, no thanks. Okay. Um, but yeah, you could not pay me to be single again. Like yeah, like even a text being like, I'm just not interested in this going anywhere anymore. Just anything. Um, you know. But whatever. Uh, but he's coming over tomorrow, and we're gonna play the Harry Potter board game. So it's like a cooperative card building game. I don't know if you've seen or heard of it before, but the original base game is, I think it only has four. It might have five, and then you can only play with four people, but like they give you options, So it's like Ron, Harry. One of my middle schoolers claims they broke up with their boyfriend by unfollowing them on Instagram. Oh, for it to be so simple, so simple. Both my kids are like ill people. Yeah, I have a high school. Yeah, well, I mean they're both in high school now, but I tell her all the time or ask her, I'm like, anybody, and she's like, no, mom, just no. Have you seen the people I go to school with? No. Fair enough. I have seen the people you go to school with. I too am disappointed. Like, oh, no thanks. And we live so close to the school that we can literally see the football field from our house. Like, that's how, like, if you walk down to the end of our street and then make a right, the football field is essentially right there. No, mom. It's like, no, mom. He'll figure it out when he figures it out. But she is not into like any of the things like that. She does archery and art, and she doesn't care about anything else. And one of the kids that she was in her class last year was like, "Were you at the football game yesterday?" And she's like, Why would I do that?" No, technically. So we're like, this is our road. The road in front of us is like the main road, and then one row behind us is an elementary school. And then you go down that way, and there's the junior high, the freshman academy, the high school. Like, we are swamped with schools around us, but we kind of picked this house for that reason. And we don't plan on it being our forever home either. So because we are so close to other schools, so I'm hoping, like, to the majority of the schools, I'm hoping that when it comes time that we want to sell, that it'll be easy because it's near so many of the schools. Yes, because if she rides the bus home, it's an hour. And when it's slightly cooler, sometimes I will make her walk home because it doesn't take very long to walk home, but it is still 96 degrees out with like 110% humidity out. So even that 10 minutes is like ridiculous to walk home in. Yeah, when it gets cooler, sometimes I'm like, today you can walk home. But in fairness, most of the school year, I don't actually sit in the pickup lane. I only sit in the pickup lane like 2 days a week because once her clubs pick up, like once they do like the club rush and she joins the club, 2 days a week she has archery, and then another day of the week she has D&D club, and then that only leaves 2 days a week. So I just drop her off in the morning, which the drop off doesn't take very long. If people, it would be even faster if people could figure out how to use the lanes. Because the high school has, when you pull in, it has 2 lanes that go around the front. Like the innermost lane, like the right side, is supposed to be for pickup and drop off. And then once you drop off or pick up, which depending on what you're doing, then you're supposed to move into the left lane and go around. Well, they all stay in the right lane in the morning instead of getting into the left lane and going down. Because some people do go further in the right lane because you can kind of get to the side of the building. And then the kids don't have, because there's like 11 buildings on their campus. So some parents go further in the lane, and then their kid goes kind of in between two of the buildings to where their first class is. They don't actually have to go in the main building for their first class. So they stay further in, which makes sense. But other people just stay in that drop off lane all the way until they have to get out of it. And it's then they get mad at you when you get in the left lane, like you've cut them off or something. Like, how dare you get in front of me? Yeah, it would, there could literally be cops or school administrators sitting out there, and they would still do it until somebody made them get out. And I hate when they get near almost the end where like the right lane has to merge into the left, then they straddle both lanes. Like, no, one lane or the other, you dipshits. I'm hoping that it's like the first, couple weeks of school, people are like, oh, and then it'll kind of sort itself out. Like some people, I think, will stop bringing their kid to school and they'll start riding the bus. Because I think sometimes, like, parents don't get on like, they have like a back to school night and a if you're new to the area or have issues day, you can come check. And for like 2 weeks before school starts, the administrative building and like the guidance counselor's office and stuff is open from like 8 to 4 every day. So if you want to pick up a class or drop a class, switch a class, whatever, if you're not on the bus roster, if you're new to the area, things like that, you can go in and talk to somebody. And they'll be like, you'll hear people like, well, I had to drop off because my kid wasn't on the bus schedule. Why didn't you look before school started? You could have come in at any time and gotten that taken care of. New this year, they have started the no cell phone from bell to bell, which is not like something the school came up with, but like the state of Arkansas passed a law that says no cell phones from bell to bell. So they can't use them at lunch. They can't like listen to music in the middle of the day because, a few bad apples always spoil it for the lot. But we had to make sure that my daughter's headphones wouldn't get caught up in it. Yeah, some people are not prepared to be parents. And I will admit, I am. So I go by the philosophy of having kids as a job. So when they're little, you do all the jobs for them, right? But the idea is that you do the job until they can do the job. So I did their laundry until they were old enough to do their own laundry, and now you have to do it. Like when they turned 10 respectively, I was like, if you want to stay up till 8:30, you have to do your own laundry. You don't have to do your laundry, but then you can't stay up later. You have to go to bed at 8 still. So they started doing their own laundry. And at 13, it was if you want to stay up till 9 o'clock, you have to cook a meal once a week. Like pick a day, and that'll be your day to cook. And I go shopping like 2 weeks at a time, essentially. So, like, put 2 meals on the shopping list, and you have to make sure we have the ingredients for them. And if not, make sure those get on the list. And then he's not 16 yet, but when she turns 16, okay, the night you cook, you also do dishes. So you know what it's like when you dirty 15 dishes to make something, now you have to make sure all of those get clean. So, like, the philosophy, like, you do the jobs until they can't do them anymore. And we made it like optional. Like, for her, it was like if you want to stay up till 9:30, you have to do dishes too. If if at some point you don't want to do those things anymore, then you go back to going to bed at 8 o'clock or 8:30 or 9, depending on how many of them you stop doing. And so, because these are all things they're eventually going to have to do themselves anyway. Like, you are not going to live with me forever. You're going to, at some point, have to know how to cook for yourself, how to clean your own laundry, how to, and like when it's time to wash the sheets on their bed, it is your job to strip your bed. And I have like a disinfectant, like spray your mattresses and pillows with the disinfectant. The first couple times that they had to do it themselves, I helped them. Like, this is how you do it. Now you try. Okay, you kind of got it, but do this way, or also do this. Like, don't forget this part. Kind of a thing. These are all things you're gonna have to do for yourself eventually. Um, it's seventh gen. Okay, I don't like Lysol. Like, literally spraying Lysol makes me like feel like I can't breathe. Like, I've tried every scent they have, the unscented, whatever, like the heavy stuff it puts into the air. It makes it so like I cannot breathe. So I use seventh generation's version of Lysol. Let me look for it real quick. Like, Lysol is too much for me. Even with the seventh generation, I can't do the one that has orange in it. Like, the orange smell makes me like feel like I can't breathe the same way Lysol does. But they have like a lavender and something. I think it's lavender and thyme, and then a different one. Let me look them up for you real quick. Whoa. Um, seventh generation spray. There it is. But it's a disinfectant spray. So I, like spray it on the bed and then allow it to dry before you put new sheets on. Here we go. It's eucalypt. They have a eucalyptus and uh eucalyptus spearmint and thyme, and then they have like a lavender and something. And I think it works. Now, whether it really works, who the hell knows? Lavender, vanilla, and thyme is the other one. But I I am lazy, kind of, sort of. I use this company called Grove.co, and I pre-order essentially my cleaning supplies, and once a month it ships it to me. then it's one less thing I have to worry about at the grocery store. But Target sells a lot of like, even the Grove, like they sell their own what would be like generic versions, of a lot of the stuff. But Target sells a lot of the same stuff, like a lot of seventh generation, a lot of Grove products. And these are supposed to be made with like not lab chemicals, but like natural ingredients that work as disinfectants and things like that, is Grove's whole thing. So everything they sell, every brand they sell, has to be like on the more natural side. There's a website that you can use, but I don't recommend it. Um, that essentially it tells you like, hey, type this, select this product, and we'll tell you if it's actually green or not, like healthy or less chemically. But the problem with there, I think there's actually two. The problem with those is they don't take into account content. So like our formaldehyde. Yeah, you use it to preserve a dead body, like at a funeral home. But also there's naturally occurring formaldehyde in pears. You know what I mean? Like the amount that's in a product counts, and these websites oftentimes don't take that into account. So they'll be like, this product claims it's green, but it has this, this, and this in it. It's not. Yeah, but I mean, enough potassium will kill you. The same way not enough potassium could kill you. Like the amount in an item counts. It matters. So I don't like using those websites that tell you whether something is actually like green or whatever. But Grove's whole thing is that they try to sell products that are like reduced plastic. So they do sell a lot of stuff in like aluminum containers, and then you get refills for it that are also in aluminum containers because that's recyclable. So like you'll get a thing like if you become a VIP member, like you don't have to pay for the membership, but then you don't get free shipping. Um, or they've been changing things up, so maybe you would. I don't know. Um, but they'll tell you like at the end of the year, like how many plastic water bottles you tried to like you saved by avoiding products that use plastic and things like that. Woohoo! Yay, Alex! I'm glad your sister is okay. I'm sorry she had to spend all that time in the ERA&E. Um, but I'm glad she's okay. Two on an angle and then two next to each other. Let's all hope and pray that all my lines equal up. I don't want to figure out where something went wrong if it did. It did! Yay! Then all I have to do is an eyeball and a nostril, and we're done with the outline. And I think black in general, we're done with after those two things. So I have an eyeball here because this is technically an eyeball over here. Sorry, I know that was like whack the camera with my thing, but I had to see. Okay, let's see. Yes and no. I think it's 6 in from this. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. But then this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Also 6. Okay, so it is right. I figured it out. Whoop whoop. A happy song. And while I'm out later doing the rest of our shopping and eating dinner, because I refuse to cook on days I do grocery shopping, like big grocery shopping, not I went to the store for a can of spaghetti sauce. Um, I'm going to stop at Michael's and get white yarn so we can make the tacos, Choco Tacosaurus. How much longer is Joe on summer break before he goes back to school? Because I know you guys, I feel like you guys have less of a summer break, but you get more days off during the school year. I could be wrong though, but for some reason, that's the way my brain remembers this. So, yes, I am. I am. My hoop is at a good spot that I shouldn't have to move it again. I just got to make this a little tighter. Okay. About 2 weeks. Yeah, that's what I felt like. Like you would start September ish. But I was like, maybe not, and that's my brain just remembered it wrong. That is something that happens often. My brain is like, listen, we have enough to remember. You want us to remember something that like we're not directly responsible for. So I'm going to a book signing this weekend. So Sunday we can talk about all the books I bought. Even though I haven't read the ones from the last book signing I went to, or this book signing that I went to last year, because this is the same book signing. I went to this one last year too. But there are, here are all the authors. There are many, many authors. I think there's, it says 65. 65 authors. That's a lot of people. I still need to go through my bookshelf and see if I have any books by, I know some of them I do have books by, and I try to like write them down so I don't buy them again. My still, there we go. I was like, did I just move out of frame? Ooh, we're gonna be in ads in about 45 seconds. 30 seconds, something like that. We'll be gone for 3 minutes and then we'll be back. But this way gets rid of pre-rolls. If you have turbo or your sub, you don't get ads. Not a ploy, just a perk. And that's the whole point of turbo, I believe, is no ads. which I have thought about getting turbo and then I wouldn't get ads. I would love to sub to everybody, but I do not have an unlimited well of money, so I mean, there are some people I would still sub to, but like to give them the money. Or maybe I would just spend biddies on their channel. They'd probably get more money that way. I need just a little more black, so let me get that out. I need to remember when I go to Michael's tonight and get the yarn to grab another skein of black. Even though I am done with it for this project, you know, I try to, like, I'll already be there, so why not? Okay, let's see. We did. I should mark off what I've done so I can not mess up. I'll be able to hold it better once I get that end of the string tucked in. Well, I guess hold it so you guys can see it better, I should say. So way back way. There we go. I think I'm gonna do this. Ooh, where's my mouse? This kind of greenish there. The darker greenish after this, after the black. But if there is a color you guys would like to see, we can do that one. It's all gonna get done. Okay, mark that off. I have to like leave my mouse pointer outside of the pattern though, because if I leave it there in the pattern, I lose it because it just all blends in. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. And this is the nostrils. Yeah, nostril. Maybe that. Okay, I think. Yeah, eye, nostril. There we go. Eye, nostril. Only a couple more stitches of black. I know we're all so tired of the color black in this. Like, I put that picture there so you guys could see what this looks like, and now I'm like, what have I done wrong? Like, where should I keep my hands? This is what I feel like all the time. Where do I put my hands? Plus, I prefer my scroll frame to like hoops like this for that reason. Like, I never know where to hold it. And then it's even worse trying to like show you guys on stream. I'm still not very good about like where to hold things and how to hold things. Yay, we're done with black. Okay. Help me out 1,000 times. Want to try, but the dead don't die. Come on. I'm trying to like look at like if I work from like the black outline in, what would be the best color? And I thought the green, but I'm thinking there's some like darker blue in there too that are just like accent pieces that like it's just a little bit of it that might be better to do first. Okay. 797 it says. This dark blue. Carrot! The carrier of carrots has come. Please don't break my stream like you did to Steel's. I don't know what we did to poor Steel's stream, but like everything broke the other night. Welcome in, Kevin. I hope you're having a good day. We lit up the A-frame cabin. We finished it and I already put it on the shelf. So I'll take a video with my phone later and put it on. Plus the sorry. I'm like, where am I going with this? I guess that's good. My camera here on stream wanted to make it like, you know, like I don't know if it happens to anybody else, but yeah, like car headlights at night and your eyes see like the starburst crazy like bright and instead of like the refined light. But that's what one my camera wanted to do to it. So I'm gonna try with my phone to and put a video of it on the Discord with my phone. Maybe that'll be better. It won't be as crazy. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so there, and I went right here. But now we just finished the outline of the dragon here, and we're moving on to our first like color. I know black is a color, but yeah, distractions. Keep me from making any progress. It's okay. It's okay. Progress? What's progress? None of that. And I know I kind of keep like turning the hoop out of frame a little bit or making it harder to see, but I'm trying to get the end tucked into the first couple stitches there. There we go. Okay. Now we get to play the weave around. Go over to here. And then it goes everywhere. Well, I hope your day is going well at work and it's not like crazy stupid. We're supposed to be getting rain here. Does that mean you have rain in your near future too? Because I know sometimes that's how it works, even though you're like way north from us. It does seem like sometimes we get rain and then you get rain. And those two things could be completely unrelated as well. It's total downpour. See, I know we're in different places, and in theory, they're not the same storms, but it always seems to happen that way. Welcome in, Carrot. I hope the rest of your stream went well. No more babies taken by CPS. Sims CPS. If you need to raid and run, I completely understand. Take care of yourself. Welcome in, Practical Porsche. I gotta get the keyboard. I've been trying to do it only on stream. That way, like if people have questions, Plus, I know myself if I did it off stream, it would be done like immediately. It'd be like, oh, here it is, it's done now. So also trying to kind of like stretch it out. Two, three, four. You'll have to bear with me. I am really bad at cross stitching on stream. I like forget and I just move my hand wherever, and then before I know it, I'm out of frame. So this is a 6-inch frame, and I feel like I'm gonna be good. Like I didn't purposely start with black with like the intention of it being whatever. When I found center, black was like three of the four squares in center. You're welcome. I have to remember to put you on the auto shutout because I am lucky I remembered this time. I'm horrible at remembering to do the shout out, so I just automate it. I've been occupying myself with all the dang patterns from the cross stitch from the crochet lady Steele introduced me to. Let's see if I got that right. One, two. I did. Woohoo. School started here, but not for me, for the Dos Minions. And in fact, the one I have to keep track of isn't really having school this week. It's just like star testing and homeroom this week. Which I mean, I imagine is true for the one who leaves the house. I imagine she's not really doing schoolwork. It's all like syllabuses and things like that. I introduced let me say the names right. Um Bunny of Death 55 to our stitchalong. So maybe they're going to do it. Yes, I'm at the right spot. Now it just looks like I'm out in the middle of Never Never Land with these stitches. But yes, we finished lighting the A-frame cabin. I'm gonna try to take a better video of it with my phone because this camera wanted to make the lights like all crazy super bright, um, like distorted bright. Um, there's 6 days left on my poll in Discord for what set I will work on my 2-year stream anniversary. If you haven't voted on that, you may want to. Yes, Rabbit, it's a dragon. I'm sure this dragon is going to pop up. I know some people are working on it during stream and some people aren't, and some people aren't streamers, so we're just going all the way around. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, I'm right. One too many. Unless I miscounted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, there we go. How are you doing, Rabbit? Hopefully well. Hopefully Chibi as well. Getting ready for the new school year. Two. 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yep. Started today. Fantasy had a bit of a scheduling weirdness. We tried to get it taken care of before school and like before the school year started, and we kind of did, but also kind of didn't. Um, when she submitted at the end of the year, like what classes she wanted this year, when she got her schedule, they had given her like a different one instead of the one she wanted. But then we learned that it was like that class was full. So she tried to switch it to a different one. And they're like, well, a lot of these, like fourth period, fifth period, whatever, like all the classes for that period are pretty much at capacity. If you want to try to switch it, we'd have to switch around your entire day schedule. And so she was like, no thanks, it's all right. She's like, I'll just keep it. It's not that big of a deal. Like, not enough that she wanted to like redo her whole schedule for it. The boys isn't that big of a deal because I'm not sure if there's like didn't even have a schedule set until I took her in today and got it set. She wasn't the only one. Oh, that's like how do you forget a whole student? you know? Like, how do you forget a whole kid? Boy Wonders School updated their website, like the thing they used to host their classes and stuff over the summer. And so it made like everything was weird. Like I guess everybody's stuff was set, but it wasn't. She graduates next year. She's in 11th grade this year. She'll be a senior next year. Yeah, that doesn't help at all. Welcome in, Crazy. Congrats on third. Um, I don't know that it so yeah, they upgraded their like domain website, whatever they use to host the classes and such. They call it their online learning system. And so like everybody's stuff was in there, but it was weird. You couldn't like click on the classes and go like into them to see assignments and the syllabus and stuff. And so that was weird. But luckily came the first day and everything like worked like it was supposed to. So but it was weird that it would like wouldn't let you click on stuff before then. Okay, that's not right. Okay, so it's supposed to be. Oh, I see why it was supposed to go up one notch. Dang it! I hate when I do this. Oh well, you get to see me mess up and then fix the mess up, hopefully. Um, but I don't know. I would assume there's like a cap on even his classes, even though they're online, that they only want so many kids tuning in at a certain time. But he doesn't really have any extras. He just has, well, I guess he technically has one extra. So he has his main like English, science, social studies, um, and then he has a computer class, um, which is like his career path that he chose. Today they had a club rush. So I guess they were talking about like all the clubs that were available to the high schoolers to join. Yeah, but at least I mean, it was for a good reason, even if it was like a frustrating reason. And I imagine they're not really doing much right now. Okay, did I mess up somewhere else? Because 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. So who cares? Like it's Jim. I will say so fantasy school they only had to take gym 1 year. So she took it her freshman year and she didn't even take traditional gym. She took this other type of gym class. Um where I guess I didn't need to undo that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I didn't need to undo that one. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. She took like this alternate gym class. So instead of being like traditional gym class where they have to run the mile and you do a unit on basketball and baseball and volleyball and all that kind of stuff, she did archery and learned first aid and how to put up a tent and how got her hunter's ed license and her boater's ed license. So she liked that because she hates gym class. She's like, I don't want to run. Why would I run? One, two, three, and two. Yeah, so she did this like alternate gym. So she got her hunter's ed license, her boater's ed license. They learned to put up a tent. They learned basic first aid. They did a little archery. They did some other stuff. So she always said it was weird and kind of funny when they would have a substitute. You know, the sub would come in and they're like, okay, run 5 laps. And they'd all be standing around. And the sub would look at them. They're like, I said, run my 5 laps. And they're like, yeah, we don't do that. We're the alternate gym class. And they're like, oh, in that case, I don't know. What do you guys do? Not whatever you just said. Yeah, I they have ROTC too, but it's not like an alternate for gym class. It's just something you do. Okay, yeah, that's right. At least it wasn't. I didn't have to undo a ton like I did the other day. Just a few stitches. And she only had to take it once. And Boy Wonder technically has PE, but they don't keep track of it, and they're not graded. They're sent like a jump rope and a pedometer and a kickball with a kickball pump. And then they're like, read all this stuff about physical education, but they don't actually have to do physical education. So that's an interesting. um so yeah, it's always interesting because my a friend of ours, her son does the same type of school, and obviously just in a different state. Um because they live in a different state, but they do the same program. And she's like, oh no, we have to keep track. We have to like write down what they did, how long they did it, etc., etc. And I was like, oh yeah, they're just like, yeah, read about Jim. Here you go. Read about heart health. Fill out this questionnaire about like what you can do to reduce or like reduce your chance of a heart attack, and fill this form out and tell us like how to eat healthy, like what's a healthy diet, kind of a deal. But they don't actually have to do gym. Whatever. They figured it out, not me. Just tell me what I got to make sure he's doing, and I'll do that. Okay, zoom angle. Oh, okay. So two here. So there's just like ones and twos of this color as like an accent fill in color. So we're gonna be jumping around a bit with this. Yeah, but luckily, Fantasy always says she's so happy they only had to do it one year. because she hates gym. I hate gym too. I always hated gym class. I always had kids who were like super athletic and loved gym class, and I loved that for them. I was not athletic at all. I just wanted to be left alone. Carrot, if you're still here, are you have you started your other one that you said you were going to do off stream with your wife? Because I know you said for that one you picked like different colors or something like that. One of them you said you were going to do in different colors. So this fabric has like little sparkles in it. The sparkles look better in person. The camera doesn't really pick them up, but okay. Okay, I was going to go down this way, but it appears oh, there are some. Okay. How far away though? Oh well, we'll just jump. I think if I were to cut and fix everything, that would be longer than that anyway, so probably. A wild volbeat is in chat if anybody wants to play the pokey game. Fantasy is super excited though. She's like, there's no loud people in any of my classes. And I keep telling her, yet. There's no loud people in your classes yet. Let them get fully settled into their normal disruptive selves, and I'm sure somebody will annoy you. And that's what's great about it. You can do whatever you want. It is a guideline, like the pattern itself, you know, is like this is the general shape. But if you want to like leave out like if it's just one color, you just do one of the ones near it instead. That is one of the things I love about crafting. You don't, you know, crochet, you want a different color, use a different color. Sometimes when I mess up on the cross stitch, I'm like, nobody will even know. Like, unless it is like very, like, you know what I mean? Like, if it's like, oh, I should have done this color in that spot instead of this color, chances are the color is similar to what should have been there anyway, and nobody would notice. I take artistic license sometimes and I'm like, nope, I don't want to do that. I don't feel like changing my color for that one dot right there. Okay, so three, three, two. Mainly because they're close, relatively close to each other, and I can just pop over. If it was like I have to rethread and everything to get that one spot, I probably wouldn't do it. I'd be like, nope, I'll just do something that's close to it, near it. But they're relatively close to like jump to, so I'm not too concerned about it. Yeah, like if they're similar in color anyway, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, I realized that after I pulled it. I got just a little, I didn't get quite in the right hole. There we go. Yeah. You just do whatever you want. Like you could choose wholly different colors if you wanted to, like pinks and purples instead of the blues and like greens. Okay, I didn't intentionally start with the border because it was the border. I found the center of the design because that's how I always start is with the center. And three of the four squares in the center were black. So I just went with black. I didn't start with it because it was the set like because it was black and the border, just because it was three out of the four colors or squares there in the center. I feel most comfortable starting in the center, and like I said, they it was just most of the colors in the center were that. So I part of me wants to be like I'm self-taught cross stitching, but like I'm not sure somebody really teaches you how to cross stitch. Like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like a lot of people are like I'd like to try that and then they just start. I got to do some cleaning, so I'm going to leave you running and just like thank you, Rosie. I would say have fun cleaning, but that's not possible. So just I will wish you a fast cleaning. Same, I started with the center and filled in that square and then worked around it till I got big blocks of color and then I just jumped around filling in. I still haven't done the border yet. Like I'm kind of glad I started with the border because that helps me make sure like that I won't have to pick up and move this hoop a ton, but I didn't like intentionally start with the border because it was the border, just because it was the center color. And I was like, well, it'll be easy to follow around. You know what I mean? Like to move around with it. So I'm not opposed to it. I feel like a lot of crafting is like that. You're like, I want to try that. And then you either know somebody who does it and they kind of give you the basics, or you watch a lot of YouTube videos. I missed that one. I could have done it right there, but oh well. I'm near the end of this color anyway. Or this strand, I should say. Not the whole color, but. Getting through to me. Make this clear. Life is strong, dear. At least I find that's how I've started a lot of crafts. I would like to try that. And then just kind of dove in. I missed this one down here too. Can we stretch it? And honestly, if I miss one of these blues, I'm not going back for it. Like if I finish this color, I'm not going back for it. I will just do it as another color. Nobody will know. Thank you for the I'm here, Kevin. Oh, you turd. Only one of you dug through. Welcome in, Juicer. Stick my needle in there. What do we got? Kevin's I'm here, then Stickity Snack, then Deuce's I'm here, then a hydrate. Welcome in. Hopefully you're having a good day. Pickle peanuts, as always. I don't know what we're gonna play on Sunday. Maybe Satisfactory again. Oh, physical therapy. The mix between this is feeling better and ow. That's how I always felt about physical therapy. I've been to physical therapy more times than I would like to say. And it is always that way. Like, yes, in theory, I'm feeling better. And I know I should keep doing this. Yeah, satisfactory, whatever that's called. Yeah, that thing. And my hydrate today is watermelon Red Bull. Brick tax. Well, after every surgery or every new doctor, their answer is always go to physical therapy. I'll send you to physical therapy. And if only physical therapy would fix what they're trying to fix, that would be good. But physical therapy can't really fix what they're trying to fix. So many moons ago, I don't know, it happened in a couple days before Christmas in 07. So we'll say 08. So what's that puts us at? Oh, a long feckin' time ago. I was in a car accident and I really messed my leg up. I broke my tibia and my fibia, and I crushed the metatarsal balls on each side of my ankle. And there was surgeries and pins and screws, and then more surgery. You know. Anyway, so every time I meet a new doctor, they're like, go to physical therapy, it'll fix it. But you can't fix nerve damage or soft tissue damage, like the residual soft tissue damage with physical therapy. I did dry needling. It wasn't that bad. So I guess I should ask what type of dry needling you did, because I learned there's two types. So the first one I had is because I wear a brace on my leg, the brace like takes over the function of the lower half of my leg, so I my calf muscle will like literally knot up so bad that like you can barely touch the back of my calf and I'll like want to jump out my skin because the muscle is like so knotted in on itself. So they were taking a needle and going in one part of my calf and then another needle in the bottom half of my calf and running current through the muscle to like shock it loose. But then I learned one day that there's another type of dry needling, and that physical therapist learned that you should always talk to your patient before you just start doing something. Um, they stick the needle in, but they like literally run it through the fibers of the muscle, like poking each fiber with the needle point to like loosen it. And that physical therapist almost got punched in the face. We both learned a lesson that day. I learned there's two types of dry needling, and he learned that you should always talk to your patient before you stab them with a needle. He was a new ish physical therapist, and the other physical therapist told him he wouldn't have felt bad if I punched him. He should have known to talk to his patient. Yeah, the current thing wasn't bad. Like they would hook it up and then they'd be like, tell us when it hurts. Like when you can first start to feel it hurt, and then they would turn it up like a tick higher. It didn't really hurt though. Okay. We now have these little bars next to it. Yeah. Like I thought they were doing the dry needling that they had been doing for like weeks or what felt like weeks. And instead, he took this needle and like shoved it in there and was like going like this against, like rubbing it against the muscle, I guess, inside. And I was like, dude, if you can't fucking get the needle in the right place, just let me know. Go get the other guy. He's done it like 10 times. And he's like, oh no, I'm doing something different. And I was like, that is how you get punched in the face, sir. And the other physical therapist came in because he heard us talking and he was like, you didn't tell her you were doing something different? He's like, I thought she knew. And he's like, never assume your patient knows what you're doing. Yeah, like when they're first getting the needles in like the right spot, that's can be uncomfortable because you are being poked with it several times if they have to poke you several times. But once like the current is flowing, it's not that bad. Okay, let's see. I got to check off all my little redeemy things or else I'll forget whether I did them or not. But yeah, once the like needle was in position, mini resin kit. Okay, Kevin. We have choices, Kevin. Uh, that's a foodie. You're you're another, and you're another. I have four different kinds, Kevin. I have Honeyduke's food. I have this is the only one I have like this. It's you're supposed to essentially make like deviled eggs. This one you make some kind of Harry Potter potion, and this you make some kind of like lifestyle thing. There's like teapots and stuff like that. And of them, I only have one of these. Like it was like a random Eastery one I bought, but I have a couple of each of the other ones. As I try not to trip over my shoe I took off there. So if you pick, like, I have two Honeydukes ones, two potion ones, three lifestyle ones, and then the random Easter one. So whichever one you want, Kevin, whichever type, and then you can pick like one, two, or three of the, whatever that type is. Kevin's like, oh, choices? I all of them? I don't care. Kevin's like dealer's choice because I don't want to pick. I haven't done any of these ones, the lifestyle ones. Kevin's like, I didn't mean to have choices. Oh, I'll do one of these because I haven't done one of those before. I the Easter one that works then. That's a one off. I didn't know if there were different Easter ones or if they just made like one type. But after we opened them, we learned that there were multiple kinds. Frankly, I bought it after Easter in like the Easter discount stuff. But yeah, you're supposed to make like deviled eggs. So you have a little table and a little bowl and some tongs. This is your resin. It's mayonnaise. This just says Easter vibes. You put it on your table like a little, you know, decoration. I think this is supposed to be like the paprika you put on. Or is this supposed to be the paprika? Oh, this peppercorn. These are something else. But these are kind of cute. You literally scoop out the egg center. If I can get my fingers to work. There we go. So it's got like kinetic sand. You literally scoop out the egg center, right? And then you can put it in your little egg, your little egg tray. I take way too much pleasure in these little resin kit things. Again, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do with them afterwards, but let me pop all these eggs out. This is what happens when I'm left unattended or even attended at the grocery store because it's not like crazy tells me no. Okay, this kinetic sand is in there good. And the eggs do have like a little bit of, they have some give to them, so they're kind of squishy like a real egg. There are only 8 spots, but 9 eggs. That makes no sense. Right? And then we have, I don't know what this is supposed to be. I threw away the instruction kit for this one. And it's not really like instruction. It just kind of gives you the basics. It almost looks like cheese, but that's weird because there's not cheese in this. I don't know. This usually it just mixes in. I've never had to like mush anything. Hopefully I'm supposed to mush this. I don't know. Like I said, I threw away the instructions. If not, I've already messed it up. So usually you just like mix resin in. So hopefully I wasn't, I don't know. Let's see if I can look it up. Mini Easter resin kit. Deviled eggs. Okay, they did something weird with them. They definitely didn't smush them. Oops. Oh, I found a video. Okay, and oh, they did mix all the eggs. They did mix it all up. But they had some like piece of plastic that like became like a, and they're not mixing in the little yellow eyes or the little orange things. They just like stuck them in there. Oh well, we're mixing ours in. But they did mix this, and as they mixed the resin in, it became easier to mix. So okay, theirs looked much better. I wonder how many times they had to film it to make it look so dang easy. Maybe if we just hold it upside down. Usually you can like kind of squeeze it. Not this though. We're in ads, or we'll be in ads shortly. It'll be our last ads for the stream today. Words. Let this be like one of those, don't believe everything you see on social media kind of deals. Because this one is not going easy. Although I feel like if you make real devil eggs, it's probably a mess too. I don't do that because I don't like playing with eggs. Oh, there we go. They're mixing now. Look at the look at the. They have like a diorama thing you can do. I just like doing them because I'm weird. Like part of me is like I really like this, and the other part is what the fuck do we do with these when we're done? I like my eggs in dessert the way eggs were intended to be eaten in brownies and cupcakes and muffins. I don't eat eggs. Like I don't really eat eggs, so I don't know. I don't know, but they got all of us who were told no a lot as a kid and now have adult money and nobody to tell us no. They got us. We're just out here spending money on tiny resin kits. I have wipies somewhere here on my desk for this exact reason, but where they currently are, I don't know, as usual. So we'll just wipe my hands off on the tissue real quick. Ooh, caught it. Well, not really, but it didn't drop on my desk. Okay, I'm going to go wash my hands while ads are happening. Okay, sorry. I went and quick washed my hands. Then I just used my nail cure thing to get on this. So this is what was left, which I'll probably try to clean and keep the bowl just because it's cute. Um, oh, I forgot to put peppercorns on it. Oh well. Yeah, I had a pack of like little disposable, well, I mean, all wipes are disposable, but you know what I mean. Wipes on my desk for this exact reason. When I did the kits, then I could wipe my hands. Plus, if they got on anything, I could clean it up. But I don't know where they ran away to. So let me go grab another pack. That way it's in here and somewhere where I'll find it next time. I do it like 3 times just to make sure it's done. Yeah. I'll attempt to remember where those are. Right. Who wants? I could have sworn it's supposed to be like paprika on the deviled eggs, but whatever. I mean, I suppose I could just put this bowl in the thing too and harden it like, ta-da, this is how I made them. But usually you like put the table, see like it can clip into the bottom part here, and then it'll stay. And then you have your little resin deviled eggs and your peppercorn. All your little stuff. I suppose we could do that. We could just resin the bowl like that. There we go. We'll just do the whole bowl. The Honeydukes ones were pretty cool because they came with like little molds and like mica powder and stuff. So you could, like, if you bought more resin, like a big container of resin, whatever, the UV resin, you could just keep using that with the mica powder over and over again, like the little mold, and make like a ton of whatever that kit was. But yeah, so then you can pick up your deviled eggs and I'll throw that resin away though. I'm not gonna keep it. And the other deviled egg. But yeah, mini resin kits. If you're weird like me, you might like them too. Sorry, the UV thing apparently puts out a ton of light or reacts with the light on my ring light. One of the two. As someone who doesn't like things on their hands, I'm sorry. I'm gonna probably wash my hands 4 times before I feel like it's not on me anymore. I eat pepper in my food most of the time. I don't mind if it's like powdered, but when I find little pieces of pepper and bite into it, I can't taste the food anymore. Because it like saturates your taste buds and all you taste is like the peppercorn. I know what you're talking about. I finally caved today. Like, you buy like the little salt and pepper shakers. I buy the kind you twist and it like grinds the salt or pepper, right there, like right then. And this is how I display them. Like, I just make a little thing in it. Like, this is one of the Harry Potter ones. It's the every flavor jelly beans. So like, as long as I had resin, I could keep making more jelly beans. Uh but what was I saying? I don't know anymore. Oh, and so I was getting low and I saw though today, like with the regular salt and pepper, like the disposable ones, they had one, like Morton's had it, that it was refillable. So now I don't need to keep buying the grinder every time, every time, every time. Well, this one is like you just twist it, like you hand twist it and it grinds it right then. But I've been buying like the plastic ones and then I recycle them. You can't really like open them and refill them though. So, but today I found a refillable one, so now I won't feel weird. Kevin's like, must not work on projects. No project for you. Yeah, here we have like plastic ones, and this one is plastic, but it's refillable. Like you can unscrew it and put more peppercorn in it, or salt, because they had a salt one too. And I've thought about buying the refillable, like the glass refillable ones, or like bigger refillable ones, but then I always forget about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I should go look for that, and then I just don't. We got a Haunter, a Pikachu, sparkly Pikachu, a Houndstone, a Houndoom, a Mimikyu, again sparkly, and a Quaxley. We're getting close. We only have a couple more to open, and my plan is for on my 2 year stream anniversary, because these are from last Halloween, so they're supposed to be like a complete deck, and this one would be 30 cards, 30 specific cards, and I'm gonna see how many. I bought a salt one today. No, we bought the pair. Between us, we got the pair, Alex. Um, but I'm going to give away uh complete, see how many complete ones I have of like that, the 30 available cards in that set, and do the giveaway. Gives them away, if I can say the words. Words are hard. Okay, we'll just L. But yeah. Also, I feel like we're sorting hats. Kevin probably has a ton of points just squirreled away. Crazy did like 2 hours in. I'm going to refund your points though, Kevin, because I'm going to get off in like 5 minutes. So I don't want you to have, like, lose out on most of your time. Kevin could have had it. He just didn't check. I mean, he probably doesn't have as many. Well, I don't know. He might have as many points as you, Alex, but he does spend his points, so probably not. Yeah, a ton of points. Yeah, because Alex, like, never spends her points. She's like, you'd have to fly to England before I had to use my points. It's probably the only way I could get her to use her points is if I put a redeem in that says, like, I'll come visit you. For X amount of points, I'll come visit you. That's when Alex would spend her points. That's okay. I know that's where I've heard it before, is UNGH. Like, you'd have to make a redeem that said, for X amount of points, I'll come visit you. That's when Alex would spend her points. Listen, if I was going to come to England, I would come visit you, Alex. If I ever come, I'll come visit you. No, I've heard you say in GHs before, him make a joke about that's the only way you would spend your points. I don't need them back. Well, I always feel bad. Like, you should get something for your points you spend. That's the whole point of getting them. I'm pulling this needle like right up to me. One time I'm going to stab myself in the neck with it. It probably wouldn't be the first time I'd stab myself, but especially not with the cross stitch needle. I'd be very, very upset if he came to, right? I'd be like, no, Alex. Alex would like, that's it. She's done. And I have nothing to write about. Oh, I missed two over there. I'm probably not going back for them. We'll see. Okay. Okay. We'll be at a okay stopping point, and then we'll find somebody to raid into. At least we finally got the border done. First color done. I'm ready for the next one. Yeah. Three more stitches will put us at a good place to stop. And then we'll see who's on. Right? You'd be like, listen, you came all the way here and you didn't visit me. That's it. Flipping a table. Flipping a table. You would probably be justified. I did almost come visit you, dang COVID. If COVID wouldn't have happened, we totally would have came and visited you, Kevin. I feel like I have blue string on my table somewhere, but maybe not. If not, I'll find it later, probably stuck to me somewhere. Okay, let's do the savey saves. And then the save as, because I'm always paranoid that it's not going to actually save. We can get rid of that. Raid channel. Oh, turns out I've been watching myself. I forgot. I was in carrots. I almost said Kevin because Kevin on the brain. What's RC Spaceport doing? I know he's doing the stand up to cancer thing. Boop, boop, boop. doesn't say specifically what he's making, but we'll just raid into him. RC. There we go. Thank you to Carrot for the raid, for Rosie for the resub. Thank you to everybody who hung out today. Kevin for all the redeems. Thank you. I'll be back Sunday. I guess we'll play Satisfactory again on Sunday, unless somebody else wants to play something else. But I know the boys love Satisfactory. And then on Tuesday we'll build the Harry Potter bookends, and Thursday we'll do something depending on what. By then the poll should be over, so I'll know which ones weren't picked for that. So I'll start one of those. But thank you all so much for visiting. If you came up with the raid and stayed, thank you so much. Sorry, words. I made a note to put Practical Porsche in the thing. Thank you to Bunny of Death for chatting today. I hope you have a wonderful day, everyone, not just Bunny of Death. But yes, let's start the raid. Crazy has told me, he's like, you're horrible. You start the raid and then you start talking and then nobody you don't finish by the time the raid sends you. So I'm trying to do my thanky thanks before the I press start raid. RC spaceport. Yep, I spelled it right. Yeah, I'm trying. It one of these days I'll get my crap together. It's not likely to be anytime soon though. But thank you everyone. I hope you all have a great day and a wonderful weekend. Hopefully I see you back in my stream next time or in somebody else's stream in the meantime. But I hope you all have a wonderful day and a great weekend. And I appreciate so much that you guys choose to spend your time in here. There are so many other people that you could be chatting with or lurking in. So I'm glad that you guys choose me. I really, really appreciate it.